So we've come to the end.
Yes, we have.
One season. I mean, I remember when we started, this was just an idea.
Yes.
And then we said, you know what? Why don't we?
Why
don't we start it?
And yes, and share what we've learned so far.
And it's been so interesting.
Yes, we've had a couple of interesting guests
and interesting conversations.
Yes.
Talking about everything.
Yes. In between as well. And being as honest and open as possible. And we hope that we've been helpful so far, and you have liked, shared, and commented on our previous videos. Would like to finish up with a bang.
Yes.
Sharing what we have learned
over 11.5 years of marriage.
Yes.
And what we've also learned
while shooting
over the episodes
that we have shot.
Love and everything in between.
Yes. And would also be having a special guest to wrap it up as well.
Two special guests.
Yes. No, I call A because they're a couple.
Okay.
They are together.
Yes.
Till infinity. Yes, so they've been married for 16 years and would love to hear from and understand their own knowledge, and we could also learn from them as well.
Definitely, because I mean, we learn from them.
And we then we learn every day, and I'm looking forward to what they would share today.
So before we go there, what have you learned?
These hot seats. Question. Okay, what have I learned? I've learned to be more open with communication. I've learned to be as vulnerable as I can, knowing that you would always put into consideration my own emotions, my feelings, the care towards me. So I've learned to be more vulnerable with you. I've also learned how to
we learn to be more patient. I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend.
It's on the to-do list.
I see.
What have you learned?
What have I learned over the course of this?
Not just the course of this.
No, course of...
Okay, course of this.
All this.
Okay, yes, so patience is very top of the list.
And everything.
Yes, patience, yes.
I've learned to be patient. I'm not a very patient person, but I've learned how to become patient. I've learned that communication is the key. Without communication, there's a lot of assumption, and that usually ends up in tears.
A misunderstanding.
Yeah. I've learned that you need to plan a lot more than I thought. I mean, I plan. I'm a planner. But now I understand that...
You have to plan for the future.
Yes, I need to plan together. I think above all of this, from this show in particular, I've learned that it's not unique. We're not unique. Like,
yes.
we're not going through this alone. You know sometimes how you feel like...
This
thing is
very
nobody in the world can
understands
what I'm going through. I've just... This man... Oh my God, this woman, you know, and I'm just like that, you know, like everybody has these challenges.
Yeah.
And it's great that we've been able to share. We've had guests that have been able to share, and it's really helped us out.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
So we'll go to our guest for today.
Yes.
And welcome Dr. Puddicombe and Mrs. Puddicombe.
Yes.
Thank you.
I like the way you said it.
So I remember, well, I'm glad you could make it. Thank you so much for coming. I remember the very first time I met you in the hospital, and...
Was that the day you bit him?
No.
That came up later.
That was later, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember when I met you, and we just hit it off. I think I just kept asking so many questions, and you're like, okay. I'm like, oh, sorry, I hope you don't mind if I get your number. And I was like, okay. Like, as if, which kind of wahala woman is this?
You know, at that point, I considered myself a very patient person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just putting it into practice.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got married.
And then you got married. I wasn't asking for his number to toast him.
I'm sure he meant that in the best way.
I know.
I mean, we're just
he just wanted me to know
right?
that.
Joking.
And then we became very good friends. And I remember when I was pregnant, I was constantly, oh my God. At a point, I had to say, please, I'd like to meet your wife so that she will know that.
Can I just quickly say this at this point?
Yes.
I'm very happy that you are not getting pregnant again.
Isn't she though?
Eh? Mama Shirikiri, don't let's start another season. So, and then I met your wife, and I remember coming and saying, hi, good afternoon. I'm the one that used to call him in the night. Please, I have a husband. This is him here. Don't be angry, please. You know, I was like, oh no, it's fine. I understand. It comes with the job. And I'm like, okay, no problem.
And she's such an awesome person.
Yes, extremely. Extremely.
I mean, we met her and it's like...
We just clicked.
We really can't think of anybody else
that would have married Dr. P.
Yeah, that's how I roll actually.
Oh, sure.
Okay,
He shares your sentiments.
So, quickly tell us about yourselves.
Ladies first.
Ladies first,
Hot
right
seat
now.
there, hot seat.
It's okay, that's fine. It's completely fine. Okay, so I'm Oluwatoyin Puddicombe. I'm an HR professional, and I help people kind of craft their career goals, plans. I coach people, young professionals in particular, and I find it very rewarding.
Oh, nice.
I don't consider it just a job. I consider it like a mission of sorts.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what I do on a day-to-day.
Okay.
And yes, my phone can testify to that as well.
He's been buzzy. So, Dr. P.
Okay, other than the fact that I'm a doctor.
Yes, other than the fact that you're a doctor, yes.
I'm a husband.
Oh, wow.
And I like listening to her talk.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah.
Doesn't get
How
any
long
better than
have
that.
you guys been
That's
married
what 16
for?
years of marriage does. They begin to know the right things to
To
say.
say, I know. When are you going to learn? Learn
We're
these
working on
things.
it, though.
Learn. Like,
You did a good
Working on
job.
it.
no, it still needs a bit of
We're still
pushing.
here, we're still
Maybe I should send him to your house.
We're still here. We're still doing it.
So you've been married for 16 years.
16 years together for 21.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
How are you still alive?
There's 21-year-olds that are alive.
No,
So
I
we
mean
met
like
in
you
school.
have not killed him.
No. Okay, so we met in school, and we started off as friends, as you do.
I was determined that would happen, by the way. So.
And then...
Oh, you knew already that you wanted to marry her.
Okay, so I grew up in Lagos, and I've seen all sorts of artificiality, especially when it comes to women. I was determined that I was going to marry somebody real. And I felt it would be safer, easier for me to find that person in school where I can observe from afar before I come up close. And, you know, there was something that she did that, I'm not sure if I ever mentioned this here. But there's something that she did that I said, no, this is the one.
Oh, what did she do? I'm curious. You know me like I'm a book.
I went to her room.
Eh.
I knocked on the door.
You told me.
Oh, I told you.
Okay.
So I'm not lying. Now, usually what would happen back then was when you knock on the door, female hall, and it's a male voice, you hear this scurrying.
Of everybody trying to
Which
cover
is just
up or
covering
something,
this.
yeah.
And we're used to it. So I knocked on the door. She said, come in. There was no... She was sitting on the carpet, eating beans and drinking Gary.
Try. Take it. Take it.
It was lunchtime.
So that just bowled me over. You know, this is a real person.
And it started from there.
Yeah.
You're blushing. So what's it been like?
16 years.
As in like,
That's
we
a
got
lifetime.
to 10 and I was like, my God. Wow.
Do I really want to do another 10? Seriously? Like, isn't this already enough?
No, like,
You know,
no,
that
I've
kind of-
tried.
And then
Clause in the
you take a
contract.
deep breath and
You
then
know,
you
let's
jump
just,
back
can we
in.
just take a break and then come back again, you know? So, but to still keep at it at like 21 years. To me, you have married 21 years.
Well, yeah, apart from some fringe benefits, obviously. it seems like that. I don't know. I think maybe for both of us, right from the start, it was never about trying this out.
Okay.
It was like we're in it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
So marriage just seemed like a continuum. It didn't feel like anything
Like
sort of momentous.
okay.
The ceremony was just a necessity. Was just that thing you had to do to sign the dotted line so that it's all legal, nice and legal. But because we've been friends, okay, so we're friends for about 3 years. Then we started, well, we call it dating, engaged, courting.
We
That's
call
the
it
word.
friendship that caught fire.
Yes. So we
Like
courted
Sherry.
for about 5 years. So
outside of the
the
3
age-
years.
Yeah, we're just friends. We're you know, like
No strings
the
attached.
way you are
nothing.
friends.
Really?
Yeah, just no strings attached. We're
I'm
just
dating
friends.
somebody else.
Yes.
Wow,
He
wow.
was. You find that hard to believe to
No,
yeah?
because it happened to us.
Just so
That's why this one is
So he was dating someone else at the time. So we're just friends.
Friends.
So by the time it ended, there was still nothing. There was still no emotions involved. So it was a while after it ended, a couple of months, a year, I'm not sure. That was when
It was a blur.
it's the right thing to say. That was when, you know, it started looking like, okay, I think there's something here. Let's start praying about it. Let's start, you know, considering this somebody you see, you know, in your future. Because just like him, I wasn't ready to play around as well. If I had prayed about it and said, Lord, if this is the person, one of the things, well, I had 3 criteria.
Oh, really?
Do I have to say all of
Yes,
them?
please. I want to
Okay.
know.
Okay, so the first thing I said was that Lord,
You're right.
I started praying long before I was involved in anyone. I had dated someone briefly, but that was okay. I knew him at the time, but that ended way before. So it was like a 2-year period between when that ended and when we got together. So I said, one, I wanted him to be my friend. I said, secondly, I wanted someone who I'd say yes to like immediately. You know, like they go come back, let me pray about it. type of thing.
Okay.
And I think the third one that I wanted him to be a worshipper.
And he ticked
And he ticked all the boxes,
Boxes.
but I wasn't ticking boxes. I did have a list.
Oh, yes,
actually
I'm pressing
initially.
List always
I
This
had a
list always was.
I
So
had a
guys,
list. No, but you know I ditched the list
why?
Thank you.
Oh.
because it wasn't a realistic list.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
one
so
of
no,
these-
but what was on your list that wasn't realistic?
Oh no, you have all this, you know, the
all
usual
dark and
ephemeral,
something.
you know.
Okay, that was what was on your
yeah,
list. Okay.
but he's dark,
He's
tallish.
tallish.
And he's
and he is
handsome.
very
Yeah,
handsome.
Yeah.
But I learned that, and it's one of the lessons that, you know, translated into marriage, that
Yeah.
you're not the same person you are. You know, there are different versions of you as well.
Yes, yeah.
So your wants, your needs begin to change. And
You
by the time you
start
get to the point where you feel mature enough to enter into a long-term committed relationship, you're not the young girl, the young guy who was, you know, building castles in the air and asking for the moon. You narrow down the things that are important. So as at the time he came around, I didn't suspect because we're just friends, we're just hanging out and all. And
She's still beefing me but not proposing.
You didn't propose.
I don't understand.
okay, so now you have to tell the whole world. Okay, and then I look at me like, girl, you mean you didn't get the proposal?
You didn't get a proposal? No way.
Bro,
So what I got
You will
him to do,
propose.
I
You
got
will
to know. So
propose.
what he did, okay, so he didn't say,
Will you marry me? Okay.
until later because I made him do it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But
that's
what
fine. I'm
but
fine
what
with
he
that.
did, it was very, very
Romantic.
corny, really. No,
Okay.
no, it wasn't. But you know, it worked for me apparently. 'cause
Okay.
I was ready. You know, I was primed. I told you I was a yes on the go. I wasn't gonna mess around. So he had this picture of me. Do I really want to tell the whole world this?
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
yes, you do.
So he had this picture of me, and he had it. Was carrying it with him. I don't know whether he had planned it, but did you plan it?
No.
Okay, so he
Pure
had it with
inspiration,
him. He
I'm
had it
telling
with me, and we'd gone for a walk like we usually do. You are a very big campus, so we did a lot of walking, and we got to a particular place. What was this? In front of which hall?
Below, I think.
Was it in front of below?
Yeah, that's student
Well,
union building.
it was somewhere. And he brings out the picture and he said that it's a nice. I'd given him the picture. Friends, you know, sometimes we deceive ourselves. Anyway, so I gave him the picture and he brought out, this is a really nice picture. And I said, thank you. I was like,
Duh.
because 2 days ago I said, God, if this guy doesn't say anything, I'm going to tell him, like, guy, what do you want?
Let me know.
Because you're giving some vibes, you're blocking my path. If there are people who are actually praying and
You about
fasting,
me, please shift.
yeah, in the way.
Out of the
Yes.
way.
You know, so he brings out the picture and says, it's a lovely picture. And I said, thank you, like, yeah. So he said, but he wants the original.
That
So
was
of course I
fun.
melted.
Chai. They just cut you.
And and Aisha said yes at the end of the day. So that was how it happened. So he didn't say actually will you marry me, but I guess that was
Your
my
own
version.
language, yeah.
And then, but at least I made him say will you marry me.
Okay. Okay.
Just so that it can be on the record.
Yeah.
On the record that
Don't
you actually
have
did
to
ask
for
to
tomorrow,
marry.
you know,
Yeah.
say,
I never said. I never
technically
said
didn't
it.
ask you to
He didn't
marry
go on
me,
one
you
knee. He's not that kind of guy.
Okay, that one we can forgive.
And you know, in those days, we're not that old, actually. But you didn't have all the Instagrams where, you know, you'd record.
Yeah, and then put it up on social
so
media.
I guess it wasn't that.
Yeah, it
you
wasn't
know,
a big
such
deal
that-
there.
My phone
that
then
big
was
deal.
a Mitsubishi Triumph.
We're not that old.
I like it. I like it.
We're not that old. But yeah. So that's how it happened.
Okay.
And well,
Here you are.
Here
you
I
are.
am.
So, I mean, you guys have been through, in 16 years, you've been through a lot. You would have, I mean, work,
There's career.
kids, in-laws. I mean, I'm sure you guys have run the gamut of things.
No.
Because
About marriage.
so
you
our
haven't
thing
run the
is
gamut. You think you have.
okay.
And
then
That's
a few more
there's
years
something
and
new
then
comes
like-
along. True. Very true.
You know, so far.
Very true.
So far.
So far.
We've been through a couple
At least
of
we've been through some things. So far, I mean, we feel like we'll be married for an eternity because the things that have happened.
Infinity.
Yeah, the things that have happened. But then just when you're thinking, oh, you know, I mean,
We can take a breather.
no, not even we can take it, but like nothing can come.
Nothing can
We've got,
phase you again,
we've got
yeah.
this on lock, and there's something boom, and you're like,
Okay, we didn't see this coming.
I did not see that coming.
How are we gonna handle
So,
it?
yeah, so I mean, after 16 years, you've been through a lot together. How do you stay together?
Okay, so let me sound a bit sagey before I say something. So I heard this, I knew this before, but somebody repeated it recently and it's stuck in my mind. See, marriage isn't a contract, it's a covenant.
Okay.
And what that means is that you're in it, you're bound in it. I don't see a way out. I've never given myself an out. So I find it rather easy, to be honest with you, in the sense that this is my life now. I'm a married woman, I've got children, and I've accepted that I'm okay with it. Obviously, there are incidents, times of, let's just say, strong conversation, where each party is on a different side of the issue
Okay.
before we eventually
Meets on.
come to a cohesive, united position on the matter. Okay, so we fight, you know, but then we make up, and it's just a cycle.
Okay.
You know, it happens. You know that it feels like this is like, how can we get out of this?
Yeah.
But you know eventually you will get out of this, you
Yeah.
will resolve it, and then you move on. So it's just accepting that that's the way things are, and I don't find it like
Difficult.
Yeah, not really. But you know, marriage isn't for babies. It's not for the faint-hearted at all.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is a key point. You're not going in giving yourself options,
Okay.
because
So
if you
that's-
give yourself
That's a
options,
key
you will find options.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 weeks into our marriage. I don't know what possessed me, but I just looked at her and I said, you know what? I'll find somebody finer. You'll find somebody darker.
Yeah.
So it can't be those things. And interestingly, I think the Greek philosophers have about 4 different definitions of love, right? And this is one of the things that's well, I don't want to, nobody actually sat me down
And explained it to
all
you.
of this. I just happened on it, and I think it really helped then, and it still helps now. There's eros, phileo, storge, and agape. Eros is the one that most guys get married for, the sex. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yes.
A lot of
Have you-
guys
yeah,
get married.
yeah.
It's the truth. Most guys get married. I think the first thing on their mind is free sex,
Good sex.
available
Yeah.
sex, no hassle sex.
No, I don't have to ask for it.
But that's just one part.
Don't have to.
Well, the flip side of
There,
that.
darling.
How's
The
that
flip
work?
side of that, women get married. Most women get married for
Security.
emotional security.
Yes.
Security.
Yeah, and all the other security that comes. But you both get married and find out that hey, there's more to this thing than that.
Than that.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's eros. That's the sexual part. There's phileo, which is familial love, brother, sister, mother, father, and all that. Storge, which is I just like it. You know,
It makes me feel a certain way.
and then there's agape, which is love by commitment. It's by decision. Now, the way I see it, without these 4 elements, no marriage will last, because your libido will not always be high.
Yeah.
The ginger will not always be there.
Yeah.
you will be friends. Sometimes you won't be friends.
Yeah.
You will like the person. Sometimes you will not like the person.
Yeah.
A lot of times you won't
Yeah.
like the person.
So
But then a lot of times you also like the person. So.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes back to what she was saying about the cycles. What will keep everything together, irrespective of the season it's in,
Yeah.
is that love by commitment. Is love by decision. I am committed to this, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what is happening, regardless of
If I'm getting the sex or not.
yeah.
So we die here literally.
We die here.
We die.
That is
And-
the literal we die. Not the ones that we see.
And the interesting thing about it is that's the only way it can work. There's literally no marriage you see that's stood the test of time. I think you were showing me
Jimmy
Jimmy
Carter and his wife.
Yeah, they've been married for
76 years.
76 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
76.
Finish, I don't late for Baba. Nothing running.
No, what's the name of that billionaire that his wife divorced him 2 weeks ago?
Bill Gates. Not Bill Gates.
No, not Bill Gates. No, those
No,
ones.
those ones have been
Those ones
for a
have-
while now.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, another one.
Another one. But people were saying because he married a younger woman. The people were saying no, he didn't die when she expected him to die, so she just had to go
We couldn't wait again.
But the sex is important. The friendship is important. They're just like you is important. But the commitment is key.
Is
Yeah.
key. Okay.
Interesting. So commitment is the key.
Yeah.
So I like how you said there are no options. There's no way out.
Once you come in, you've
You know,
made up your
I
mind.
mean, yeah.
No,
But
we
it
had
has
that.
to.
We had that at the
But it
beginning
has
of
to.
the marriage when you're like, divorce is
It's not
It's
an
not
option.
it's off
It's
the
not an option.
table.
It's
Yeah.
not, it's not even
yeah.
on the table. So
Yeah.
So you're stuck
we're
with
here.
it. You
We're
have
here.
to,
We're
have
here.
to make it work.
You have to.
So
have to
even
make
when
it
I'm
work.
looking at it, I'm thinking, oh crap, and I can't divorce her. What are the options?
I think I remember one of his birthdays or something that I'd written. I did a write up and I posted it, and then I think you sent me a message like, "Oh, it's our birthday," and I said, "Dr. P, do you sometimes get this? Do you remember? When you write this thing and you're not really feeling it, do you really have to put it and you're like, yeah, my darling, yes, you will write the words will come to you, but you might not be feeling it at the moment.
That's
But
how it works.
Yeah, but you know they're true because you felt them at some point.
and so I had to go and tap into that far back emotion. I'm like,
You're the vein.
No, but another aspect of it is this: look, if you don't think about it that way,
Yeah.
if you think you'll find happiness somewhere
where else?
the same thing will repeat itself. So
Wherever you go to.
wherever you go to.
So you might as well, you're dealt with this, make it work.
Yeah.
So what if you just happen upon 2.0? What do you do?
Define 2.0.
No, I'm not defining. I'm not messing around.
But no, this is a safe space. It says,
Okay.
no, we've spoken about.
It's all right.
What's
Thank
2.0?
you. There's no 2.0. I was just messing around. Anyway,
Okay, are you sure? Because I want to put a knife inside that thing you just said.
explain.
Praise. Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2.0. Version 1 is your spec. So presumably version 2.0 is upgraded spec. So if you do come across that, so
What will you do?
So this is what I've learned. I've learned that you will find 2.0 in quotes. There will be somebody finer. There will be somebody who clicks with you better. There will be someone who seems to understand you
yeah.
way more than this person that you're currently with. I mean, there will be somebody who you're attracted to
Yeah.
a lot more than the person you're with, maybe at that point in time.
At that point in time.
At that point in time. But at the end of all that, the only thing that is going to keep you with that person is the decision
Yeah.
that you have made. That
Not
Bam.
with this one, we're here.
Bam. We die here.
We're here.
You
We're
die
here.
here because I think you're absolutely right, because one of the other things that I've given a lot of thought to is those feelings.
Yeah.
You know, and they're exactly that, they're feelings. If you're hungry now,
It seems like
You
if
can't,
you don't get
food, you're going
that's
to
the
die.
end.
however,
Once
if
you've eaten.
the house is on fire, no, not even once
No,
you eat it.
if that's not
You're hungry, but the house is on fire. You forget about the hunger.
Hunger and
because
focus
the house is on fire.
Yeah.
That's the way feelings are. They come,
They go.
if you don't feed them, die.
They don't grow.
Exactly.
But once you
Right.
feed them,
So that's where I was going with that question. Okay, those feelings, if you feed them, they continue to grow, and that's where the problem starts. That's where a lot of extramarital affairs have started. That's where a lot of confusion and but I
like this
I
person.
love this person, but this is my wife. I used to love her, but I love this
This
person
person
now.
Can I just add this?
Yeah.
So there's a reason you're with the person you're with. There's
Yeah.
a combination of qualities that makes that person your person. You may not find those same qualities in the same combination, but you're going to find them
In
different
bits,
aspects
yes.
in different people.
Yeah.
Now, depending on how, for instance, I love very intelligent people. I love listening to them, the way they put their thoughts together. He's a smart cookie. He's all right,
Yeah, we can make do.
So the truth is that there's a potential that if I see another man who's probably dark,
As well as intelligent.
tallish, and handsome, and is really intelligent. Calm down.
You'll be drawn.
She's here. She's not going
You said we die here, and I don't understand.
die here.
I don't understand.
nothing.
So the tendency is there might be an attraction to that person for that reason, but you know that it's just some aspect of that person that's pulling you at the time.
So there's still.
And then
not the full package.
Exactly. And then, like you said, if you don't feed it, it won't go anywhere.
It won't go anywhere.
Okay, so I want to ask. I mean, what we've spoken about how you have to stay committed and all that, but what about when it doesn't work? I mean, there are times when. Do you guys believe in divorce for any reason? Or is it no? It's not. It's not only about them. I'm just talking
generally.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, do you believe that there are times when it's time? It's time for everybody to just.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
So the ladies first. Give me time to think.
Sacrificial lamb.
Always.
Apparently, that's also my job description.
Apparently,
Cook, bottle washer, personal assistant, secretary.
Of course not.
I added that too.
So for me, anything that doesn't have a sound foundation is going to crumble at the end.
Yep.
So you've got to ask yourself what the foundation was in the beginning. That's the first thing, and then this is just my personal opinion anyway, because I've not been there, so I can't.
No, it's fine.
Second thing is, at that point, are we both ready for it to work? Are we both committed to weathering this storm? If one person is, to a greater degree than the other, it may not work out well. So foundation first, and then how committed are we both to getting through this particular thing?
On sex, what would be the...
What advice would you give?
21 years, the same rice and stew.
It's not the same rice and stew.
Oh, really?
Yeah, variety is the spice of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 3, 2,
We didn't clap.
1.
Why are planes flying this far into
Is it a normal
the
route?
normal things?
What's that?
It's from upstairs.
Is that from upstairs? What is it?
Okay. And what that means is that
Quiet down upstairs.
Guy!
Yomiku!